the world who are struggling to survive on $1 a day or less, the best way out of poverty is through decent work. A job that pays a living wage, no forced labour, safe work conditions, the right to join a union and organise, freedom from discrimination at work. There are certain everyday working conditions that we take for granted, but the same cannot be said for the large majority of workers around the world.
The job involves meeting workers at their workplaces and organizing meetings with them at various places. And that is a direct activity that calls for brushing shoulders with the law, brushing shoulders with the law enforcement agents.
Bali sa linya ng trabaho namin, gawa nga nung installation, pagkakabit ng mga elevator, medyo delikado yon. Kasi halimbawa yung elevator nakadepende kung gaano kataas yung building, so ibig sabihin nandun yung lahat ng risk ng mahulog, mga maaksidente, maipit o kaya mga alikabok, sama-sama na.
The way our society, especially our men, view our women who work as beer promoters, view them less than dirt. No value whatsoever.
Development, which has workers' rights at its core, can make a difference. With the support of Australian unions, workers throughout the world are developing vocational skills and learning about workplace safety issues that will allow them to live and work with greater dignity.
ចំពោះខ្ញុំផ្ទាល់គឺខ្ញុំបានសិក្សានៅក្នុងអង្គការ AFRIDA អង្គការ CWDA តាមរយៈមូលនិធិរបស់អង្គការ AFRIDA ហ្នឹងគឺមានដូចជា computer អង់គ្លេសចាភាសាអង់គ្លេសរដ្ឋបាលនិងគណនេយ្យចាចំពោះផលប្រយោជន៍វិញគឺមានច្រើនសម្រាប់ពេលដែលយើងរៀនចេះហើយគឺយើងមានការងារធ្វើចាមានការងារធ្វើយើងអាចរកកម្រៃបានទៅតាមនឹងដែរគឺផលប្រយោជន៍គឺមានច្រើនជាងនេះទៀតចា
តើข้าพเจ้าเนาะความท้าทายคือการศึกษาบ่ได้ต่อสายนั่นแต่ว่ามาต่อวิชาชีพเนาะเจ้าต่อวิชาชีพนี่จะเรียนตัดเย็บอยู่ปากประสักเจ้าความคาดหวังของข้าพเจ้าเนาะยังมีหันตัดเย็บเป็นของตัวเองยังให้ทางโครงการอภิดาเนาะช่วยเหลือผู้ช่วยเหลือผู้แม่หญิงที่ด้อยโอกาสเนาะในชนบทให้หลายขึ้นกันเก่า
ចាក៏នៅឆ្នាំ2008ខ្ញុំបានចូលរួមវគ្គសិក្សាពីអង្គការ AFRIDA ក៏បានខ្លះដែរចាដូចជាមានប្រធានបទដូចជាគ្រឿងស្រវឹងអំពើហិង្សាកន្លែងការងារការបៀតបៀនផ្លូវភេទនិងជំងឺកាមរោគ HIV ចាវាមានផលប្រយោជន៍ខ្លាំងណាស់ចំពោះនាងខ្ញុំដោយសារខ្ញុំបានចូលរួមវគ្គបណ្ដុះបណ្ដាលពីអង្គការ AFRIDA ហ្នឹងមកនាងខ្ញុំបានយកចំណេះវិជ្ជាដែលខ្ញុំបានចូលរួមវគ្គបណ្ដុះបណ្ដាលហ្នឹងទៅផ្សព្វផ្សាយដល់នារីផ្សព្វផ្សាយដល់ស្រាបៀរដទៃទៀតដូចជាក្រុមគ្រួសាររបស់នាងខ្ញុំឲ្យគាត់បានយល់ដឹងអំពីការផលប៉ះពាល់គ្រឿងស្រវឹងចាមានអំពើហិង្សាកន្លែងការងារវាយ៉ាងម៉េចចាហើយមានការបៀតបៀនផ្លូវភេទហ្នឹងវាយ៉ាងម៉េចចាបន្ទាប់មកឲ្យគាត់ទៅស្គាល់ពីសេរោគសញ្ញាណនៃជំងឺអេដឲ្យគាត់ចេះការពារខ្លួនពីជំងឺអេដ
แต่ว่าส่วนหลายกรรมกรในบ้านเฮาส่วนหลายมาแต่คงเขตกสิกรรมถูกผู้เฮ็ดตัวจริงจังสั้นปัญหานี่เผชิญหน้ากับความเสี่ยงเรื่องการอุบัติเหตุในงานนี่ก็เป็นสูงเรียบร้อยหรือว่าเบิ่งกับความปลอดภัยสุขอนามัยให้งานอยู่ในสถานที่เฮ็ดเวียกซึ่งได้นั้นเด็กก็ได้สร้างครูฝึกให้แก่ศูนย์กลางกรรมบาลพวกเฮาเพื่อมาเกิดอุบัติเหตุงานและประหยัดอาชีพในนั้นก็เนื่องจากว่าพวกเฮาได้สร้างครูฝึก
In Timor-Leste, workers are sharing skills, so the whole community can earn a decent living.
ihane ame nia grup dane ame nai sanulo resindua barat balo mak mai tu treno balo se basur bisui ha patpate tambah ihane ame la persa e mai da mesa katu servisu mesak ame hane in bisar eman debe makane san la servisu ame bolo hamutuk mai servisu hamutuk ihane ami los halo amne grupone los ba amne ande mai be ami tingi persis amne maluk ni be makla kita servisu makam he servisu ami bolo servisu hamutuk idane makam ya importanti yang amne perparasang ba apa mendran ni ane los ami mesak mai be pamos amne maluk joben serna hutuk.
In Africa, we are supporting unions in their fight for basic human rights.
We still think that unemployment is around plus minus 85 to 90%. We have calculated the average minimum wage of all the industries put together as $90 per month. That is very, very a far cry compared to the poverty datum line, which we as ACTU have calculated to be at $454 per month. More and more, particularly in the history of Zimbabwe, trade unions have become the pace setters in terms of fighting for democracy. They have actually become the advocates of democracy and good governance, and they demand for that. And if you are weak with less members in society, how do you become a loud voice that can be listened to? We are lucky from Zimbabwe. We have actually had a lot of international solidarity from the continent, particularly in Southern Africa, and then of course Australia, United Kingdom, and indeed the International Trade Union Confederation, the newly set up body. They were quite alive to our needs, to our problems, to our struggles, and we have enjoyed both financial and moral support.
If you are unemployed, then that means you have no health, you can't be affording health treatment, or you can't go for health systems, or you can't go for health treatment, you can't seek, you can't take your kids to school for education. There is a lot of hunger, a lot of people are dying because of just being hungry. Yet if you look at Africa, it's really rich in agriculture, but you'd find that's where you find most of the children dying of malnutrition, for example. Then you wonder why, even if we might have droughts here and there, but we should be having food in our reservoirs, but it's not happening.
Creating the conditions that allow people to enjoy decent work involves governments, businesses and unions around the world. In Australia, unionists support global development through Aus Aid Abroad, AFIDA, and their global union federations.
If you have decent work, you feel respected, you feel valued, you have a decent living, you can be emotionally and physically well. It's hugely important to everybody to have decent work.
I support Aus Aid because it alleviates poverty in the worst affected areas, in the worst affected countries, and poverty is directly linked to violence in those countries.
I support aid that tackles the difficult issues such as decent work and human rights and social justice.
It's really important to me that the money I donate to AFIDA goes to union-based projects overseas.
The way I see it, I'm not going to miss that money each month. It's not much to me, but it's going to make a hell of a difference to somebody overseas.
Workers' rights are universal, and everyone should have the right to a decent wage and a safe workplace. So please help make a difference. Support the right of all workers to decent work and a decent life.